Hi, my name's Andy and I'm here today to talk to you about the new Benro Cyanbird. This is the box it comes in. Let's get it open. So, pretty straightforward. Now this is the first time I've actually seen a production model. My sample that I've had for a couple of months has been a pre-production model. So there's the strap for this fancy case. Here we are, the Cyanbird and its case. This particular case, it's not the type of traditional case you've probably expected from a tripod manufacturer. First of all, we have these little loops here. They serve two purposes. One, to attach the strap to, or if you wanted to, and if your camera bag at the facility, you can actually hang the tripod from underneath the bag. That certainly helps for weight distribution, rather than having the tripod on one side of the bag. A couple of clips release the case, and you simply roll the case out. Now the case itself does have a few little pouches for any accessories that you may wish to store. Instructions are there, I'm sure you're not going to need them. But here they are, for those who do. And it's securely in the case using the Velcro strap. We'll come back to the case very shortly. Now the Cyanbird itself is a hybrid tripod. And the reason why we call it a hybrid tripod is that the top section is carbon. This is a matte finish, genuine carbon, really high quality, as we've come to expect from Benro. But the rest of the sections of the leg are aluminium. Now, as a manufacturer, as a UK distributor, we did think about bringing the full carbon version into the UK, but on specification, this particular tripod only weighs 1.5 kilograms. There was no real point in buying the carbon fibre because the weight saving is very, very small, but the price difference was huge. So we decided only to bring in the hybrid version, which you can see here. We're using these very high quality flip locks. Benro tends to go down the route of twist locks, but due to the legs not being circular, twist locks were unachievable. So these very high quality, durable flip locks were introduced. What else have we got in terms of features? One of the main problems with a tripod is when you want to shoot low, what tends to happen is if you open the tripod up, you're restricted by the center column. I'll just demonstrate that. As you can see, the center column will not allow you to take your tripod or your camera any lower than this particular point. But again, the Cyanbird does have a little trick up its sleeve, where if I were to unscrew underneath the center column, there's a hidden Allen key. If I were to remove the head, inside there's a screw that with the Allen key will release. If I keep on turning, eventually it separates from the center column. You then remove the center column. Now, just bringing back to the case, there's actually a little pouch for the center column to keep that safe. Then what you would do is place the rest of the center column back on the legs, and there we go. We have ourselves a tripod that can be used close to the ground. Quite a decent feature if you ask me. I like it a lot too. It's a cracking feature. Right, let's just rebuild the tripod. All the specifications should be on screen somewhere. Not quite too sure why you're looking at that right now. So the head that's provided is this Benro N00P, for those of you who like to know their codes. It will take up to 4 kilograms in total weight. Now, for most average photographers, that's fine. You know, you've got yourself a good, decent DSLR or a mirrorless camera with a short range zoom, absolutely fine for the travel photographer. We also have a Arca design plate. So if you've got an L bracket or anything that's Arca compatible, it can fit straight onto this tripod, no problems at all. In terms of other features, the shoulder on the tripod has a built-in spirit level, including the head. So you have 2 spirit levels to ensure that your shot is nice and steady. There's another feature on the head as well that sets it apart from most other heads, is that you have a pan plate, which is operated by undoing this here. As you can see, you can slowly adjust just the top part of the ball head from left to right. This is actually very useful if you're taking, say, nighttime shots or shots of the stars, and you want to make small alterations left or right. So you don't have to release the whole ball. You can simply just release the head and make those small alterations. Very, very smooth, and it feels very well made. In terms of height, you've already seen that on the screen. Ideal for, like I say, most photographers. I'm 5'11", and it's up to my eye height with my camera, and my viewfinder is, I'm not having to crouch or anything like that when you're using the tripod. Just on that point, I did actually have a trip to Italy, and I took my pre-production version there. Absolutely flawless, to the point where it was so compact and lightweight, I was able to actually store the tripod inside the camera bag. And that for me was important when I was going through security. I didn't want to get stopped at being accused of carrying 2 separate bags, when really I should have only had 1 bag. So putting the tripod inside the bag certainly helped a lot. And I didn't feel in any way, shape or form that the size of the tripod let me down in terms of stability, because it didn't. In fact, there are 2 things that people tend to look for, in my experience anyway, when selling tripods. They tend to look for stability is obviously the key one, and weight. Is it going to be too heavy? Obviously, the more stable a tripod is, the heavier it tends to be. The Cyanbird, yes, there are more stable tripods out there, don't get me wrong, but for the size and its weight and its value for money, you're going to be it's going to be really tough for you to find a tripod of good value that's as stable as the Benro Cyanbird. So that's the Benro Cyanbird. If you want any more information, please contact the guys here at Camera Centre. They'll be more than happy to help you. Great value for money, great specification, and like I say, it'll be tough for you to find a tripod of a similar quality for a similar price.